Yeah, we are live.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to yet another episode of Tanya Talkies. Today, I have a very, very, very special friend. In fact, her name, guess it. If you haven't read the title yet, if you haven't seen the thumbnail yet, guess kar lo. It's, it's, I'm giving you 2 minutes, guys. I'm letting the chat actually send कितना lame introduction है ये Tanya, but basically,
No,
we are
not at
joined by my namesake Tanya, and the stream is called Jab Tanya Met Tanya. So I am super excited, Tanya, to be having this conversation with you. I would love to warm up the chat. I would love to hear from you, hear about your background and this lovely Instagram channel that you have started, a Bookstagram rather, which is called Madam Thesaurus. What made you think of this? Was it something recent? Was it something you were planning on for a long time? So let's get started with all of it. Over to you, Tanya, and welcome to
all.
the stream.
So I think those are a lot of questions for me to answer.
In one
Uh,
go, I was like, एक दो तीन चार जितने सोचे सारे एक बार.
I think I will start like a 15-minute monologue then.
Go
But
for it.
first of
You
all,
need
I
to
would
take some rest. I'll mute myself.
no, not at all. I would like to apologize to the listener. I have a bad throat right now, but I usually don't sound this bad. Maybe I sound worse, but this is not my real voice. Anyhow, I think I would start the conversation from the username, which is Madam Thesaurus. So what happened basically was that I shitpost a lot on Twitter, and this one day I was scrolling through my feed, and I found that there were not little kids, there were like 20-year-olds fighting on Twitter over a tattoo, and I found it absurd, and it was a bit, I don't know, frustrating, and it made me angry. And sometimes you're just in the mood to fight with random people on the internet just for the sake of it. Like something has pissed you off, and then you need a channel to sort of take that out on. But anyhow, seeing that 20-year-olds are calling each other a tramp and everything made me furious, and I was like, "Ye kya bakwas hai?" Also, I'll be bilingual if that's okay. I'm assuming
Completely.
that our listeners might prefer both, if that's fine. I can't see their chat right now, so
I'll tell you quick chat
yeah.
responses. एक तो आया waiting. एक आया are we allowed inside even if our name isn't Tanya. It feels like a very secret, like a
Exclusive group.
Illuminati, Tanya Illuminati session going on. But no, Abhishek, more than welcome to send your chats to us.
Hmm.
But yeah, Tanya, go on.
So, anyhow, I think I tweeted something, and that pissed off the person who was fighting with the other person. And they happened to call me Madam Thesaurus because I had made a tweet about how we would had spellathon in school, and I would sit in the library with a dictionary in my hand, and I would just flip through the pages, learning the meaning of random words and learning how to spell them. And I really miss doing that now. I think I've fallen out of the habit of doing that. So they must have read that tweet, and they must have read the fact that I'm a teacher. So I'm a Teach for India fellow, everyone. Uh, and to mock me, they called me Madam Thesaurus. And I was like, okay, for me, that's not an insult, and it's quite unique. So I will use it as my username. And I
Yeah.
changed my username. And I think that was the point of time I had finished reading Shirt Ka Teesra Button by Manav Kaul ji, and
Oh,
I fell in love with the book, and I was like, I need to post about it. But the thing is that I have a private account. So it's not of much use if I post it on a private account, right? So I was like, I will post about it someday. So I need to start an account. And that's how the Bookstagram started. I also felt that ever since I started working, every month I've been saving some money and I spend it on books. So I go to Fakir Chand's very often, and
wow.
I go on book hauls, and I collect books like anything. I think my bio also reads that. At this point, it feels like I'm just blabbering shit. Am I allowed to
No,
use
no.
such words?
Of course. Of
Okay,
course.
strong language allowed.
I was going to say कि Fakir Chand is like such a, like I want to tell the chat कि Fakir Chand fans, please unite ASAP.
Yeah.
But somebody's also written in the chat. I'm going to read this out for you. She's written intense nerd energy in
Oh,
a, and then Pokraj, hey, hello, hello. He's written Tanya Millanati,
oh
if
yeah.
I pronounced that
That's
correctly.
quite unique and creative.
It
So,
is.
where was I? I forgot. So I spend money on books basically, and I have a bookshelf which is shaped like a tree. So I want to like turn my room into a library sort of a thing. And I realized that, I've been buying so many books, but I've been reading really less. And maybe to get back into the habit of reading more often, I should start a bookstagram. And the thing with me is that I'm a very lazy person. And until and unless someone is nagging me to do something, I don't do it. Uh,
So, Tanya, there's a quick chat, by the way, for you. A friend
yeah.
of yours has written that she knows you from school and she has the most unique usernames. That's what she says about you. So,
Yeah,
do you mind telling our cherished audience what your private account is called? Because
my
यहाँ पे लोग
private
को
account is the branded nincompoop. And I
why?
remember.
Can we start with why and what and how and क्यों?
Oh, I don't think there's any reason for it. I remember my sister's friend used to use the word nincompoop. Shout out to Justy Didi. And I really found it interesting, and I think it was not my original idea, but something I had picked up as an eighth grader for an
Yeah.
Instagram handle. And I remember at one point I had changed my username to something more boring, and people texted me that why did you change it? Put it back to the Brandon Nincompoop. That's more of your personality, and you're not doing justice to yourself. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll change it back to the Brandon Nincompoop.
Lovely, because I'm also writing your Instagram handle in the chats. Okay? Some people have asked. There's Shivangi, who's also a bookstagram hyphen and she's written, can you please share your account? एक दो हिंदी में chats आए हैं and I want to take 2 seconds to let the chat know कि मैं काफी slow हूँ on the uptake.
Oh,
So
if you
Tanya,
can
if you
share the
can
link
read
with
this
me,
out.
I can read it.
Acha, sure. So I'm going to post this to you WhatsApp पे. Just open it up maybe on your laptop या ऐसे छोटा सा phone पे and you can mute it.
All right.
क्योंकि it'll just be an echo otherwise. So ideally I go through chats like that. Like I keep checking my phone every 2 seconds.
Hmm.
किसी ने एक और चीज लिखी, हम सब टीनेज एंड यंग अडल्टहुड में स्टैंड आउट होने के लिए ये सब करके
Sense of
अचीवमेंट
achievement की अनुभूति करते हैं. हाँ, I think for me, sense of achievement is a driving force, but also the fact that I love being creative, letting people know that I paint. Maybe you can see a canvas. I can't show the full thing because it's a nude painting, not of me, of course. I don't know why I said that. I don't know
we
why I
would
said
love that. Stan.
so.
But I wanted to tell the audience, sorry, quickly, was because last 3 streams, in fact, a lot of comments had come in post stream that, hey, we want to know like a very, like, because this goes after the live thing, it goes into a recording format. And I just wanted to brief everyone as to what we will be talking about today, what the format will look like. Because I feel like when two Tanyas come on stream, there is no limit to how much we can talk. Tanya Talkies, in fact, was the origin thing. It started because I told my friend, मैं बहुत चप चप करती हूँ, मैं बहुत बातें करती हूँ. He's like, yeah, Tanya talks a lot. So Tanya Talkies. That's just how it started. But ideally, Tanya and I have been college friends. We have been in the same institution. We were both graduates of Lady Shri Ram in Delhi. And sadly, we've been a COVID batch. Didn't see much of each other either for the last, 2 years, 2.5 years plus. And this is actually a great platform for us to reconnect. We have been promising each other coffee dates for the longest time. We hope this materializes into something soon. But tonight's stream, would love to know a little more about Tanya, her bookstagram. She has recently been meeting a lot of celebrities. Agar name drop already nahi ho gaya hai, and whoever was carefully listening, she's met my ever favorite actor, and I'd love for her to talk about him. And then ideally would like to spend a few segments of this stream just to talk about what Tanya has been reading, what this Tanya has been reading as well. And let's talk about college. Let's talk about the times we spent in college, at least together. So,
Yeah.
Tanya, I'll pass it on to you very quickly.
About college?
शुरुआत से शुरू करते हैं, like the format we laid out. Let's talk about Madam Thesaurus. Like
Hmm.
TFI के बारे में हमें थोड़ा सा बताओ. Tell us about the fellowship. Kids, why kids? I know you bring out a big smile on people's faces. I know that for a fact because I'm smiling so widely right now. But is that the same with your kids
I
in the
love
class?
kids. I love them so much, and I feel so. I teach a bunch of enthusiastic grade 6 students, and the fact that I have to deal with 43 preteens on a daily basis, my confidence is unshakable. They've said things to me which no man has ever managed to say. Like I remember this one incident. I was teaching them geography, and one of the students just ran up to me, stood next to me, and said, "Didi, aapke baal pakke ho rahe." So I have like white hair since childhood, ever since I was born. Very wise, very old soul, right? And I was
Oh,
like,
that
पहले
you
तो
are.
मुझे समझ नहीं आया ये पक्के का मतलब क्या है. Then I figured that he's talking about my white hair, and I have curly hair as well. So this kid, the next day, he was like, "दीदी आप बाल कोम करके नहीं आते हो क्या? ऐसे ही आ जाते हो?" And they bully me like anything, but it's such a fun energy to be with them in that space. I think I forget about other things. um so yeah, TFI happened. I don't know how it happened. I wasn't planning on working right after graduation. So I've done my graduation in psychology from LSR, and my GE, which is the elective, was in political science. So I have a minors in that, and I also did like a brief degree in French from DU LSR only. Though I am not very confident with my French. So anyhow, I was planning to go for my
शो ऑफ थोड़ा सा ना. Little bit
नहीं
show
नहीं
off. No, हमें समझ
no
तो
फिर
आएगा.
Tanya, that's all I know. No, I know a lot more,
कैसे
but
हुई in response to that. किसी
so
ने manage kids for the kids, by the way.
oh yeah,
That
very savage kids. So,
giving you names and titles. Fun, yeah. किसी ने ये भी
so
लिखा है, by the way. Vivek has written he saw you on Sunday at a World Book Fair.
oh
You were
yeah,
on a date with her friend.
so the
What is this about?
so the thing is that I was walking through the halls, and I kept entering the same hall again and again. I don't know why that was happening. There was some issue.
Huh.
Maybe my mind was in places, but anyhow, these two people stopped me, and they were like, "Can you give a short bite to us?" And I was like, I can. See, I'm an extrovert, all right, and
Yeah,
I don't mind talking to people. They were like,
yeah, but
"Please,
this is such a unique way. Did they say video bite or did they just say,
a
can you give
video
us a
bite."
bite?
So I was like,
That's-
"Okay, I'll do it." And then I
Because it
said
could
a
mean like
few.
a vampire bite and that could go completely absurdly wrong.
No, no. So I just said a few things, and I don't even remember honestly what I said. I was like, I just want to get done with this quickly because I was headed somewhere else. So I said
Hmm.
some random things, and they were like, "Oh, this is the quickest bite that we have recorded." And I was like, "बढ़िया फिर तो आपके लिए."
Love it. Energy एकदम मैम एकदम confidence. Madam Thesaurus का confidence ऐसे.
No, but I have not always been like this. I was a very shy kid. Uh, in
Then
fact, I've
how
been
come?
I've
In
been
fact,
bullied a lot.
let's
I
with
have
this.
I have been bullied a lot. People don't believe me because turns out I am a huge bully now. Not a friendly
I
one.
don't think anymore. तुम्हारे स्कूल के ज्यादा लग रहा है मुझे bully but
They will bully anyone. They don't care who you are.
ऐसे
But
ऐसे core
they are
memories from
very smart.
childhood.
They're very smart. This one
Mhm.
time I was sitting, and imagine I'm the teacher, okay? And I'm checking their papers. And
Yeah.
this one kid, he's sitting on the front bench. He turns to me and he says, "Didi, आपका कोई boyfriend है क्या?" And I'm like,
None
no.
of your business. अच्छा,
And
no,
then
okay.
he turned to his friend and said, मैंने कहा था ना दीदी नहीं बताएगी. And I was like, यार ये बच्चे कितने मस्त है. I wish I
I
was.
would be surprised अगर बच्चे कहते उस टाइम. I wouldn't be surprised अगर बच्चे कहते हाँ हाँ 100 की लगी थी ना चल चल अपने हंसी निकाल.
Oh,
मेरे 20 ये है.
I learn a lot from them. So, where was I? I forgot.
You were talking about kids and them being savage in
Huh.
general.
So,
How in general, like school mein, sorry, just to quickly tell the audience also, like what made you come out of your shell? Was it by any chance reading? Like, did
yes, it
reading change
was
your life?
reading. I am
Change
grateful
your life?
to my father and my mother. I had so I grew up seeing my parents read. My mother used to read Griha Shobha.
Mm-hmm.
So and she used to read Premchand, and I think she's also read Saraswati Chandra. and all of these novels. So, and all of these authors. And I grew up seeing them read. My dad is a huge fan of poetry, so he would often recite a few shares every now and then. And I think my dad has also been the person to cultivate my music taste. We would go on long journeys to my dadi's place, and he would play ghazals, and I would. As a 4-year-old, I would crib all the time. कि क्या बजा रहे हो आप? कर रहे हो वो तब से. It's just it would make me really angry कि नहीं मुझे अभी के टाइम के गाने सुनने हैं and all of that. But as I grew up, I realized how meaningful ghazals are, and I think they're a huge part of my personality now. I have to listen to ghazals every single day, otherwise I can't sleep. It's like my thing to do every single day. It's on my to-do list without a doubt. So I think I'm grateful to my father. I remember when we shifted houses the first time around, I got a bunk bed. So my sister and I used to share our room. And I was around 6 years old then, and my bunk bed had a bookshelf in it. So my dad went to some fair, I think, and he got us secondhand books. And this is my first book, which is Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the
I have
Pooh.
scribbled a bit inside it because I was very little.
खोल के दिखाओ.
So I had this habit of numbering my books. This happened to be number 28 on the bookshelf at that point of time. It has a music box as well.
Does it play any tunes?
No, the battery has run out. So
मेरे पास वो डॉग ही होता था तान्या बचपन में which जिसमें वो बैटरी लगा के that dog used to jump around.
Oh yeah.
That's my first core memory. You know, किसी ने लिखा है chat में, sorry, quickly wanted to just take you back to this कि एक आध बारी अगर बच्चों को माफिया खिला दो classrooms में, that really apparently is a
Mafia
मजा.
has a really special place in my heart because
Really?
I did not know that the game exists until January 2023 when I went for a Teach for India training, and my colleagues taught me the game, and it was super fun. So yeah, it is a very special game. I think I will play it with my kids.
So your games है that you recommend that one should like play ऐसे road trips पे? Any reading related, writing related?
Reading
कुछ
related.
Scrabble होता था, but Scrabble के लिए
I
you have
play
carry
Wordle every day without fail. It's
Are you
like
good at it?
I would like to believe so.
Yes, which means you are humble, modest.
So that's the thing. So he got me a lot of books. My father got me a lot of books, and I think that used to be my place, my safe haven. And I have these specs because I used to read in the dark under the light of the bathroom once everyone would have slept. Because otherwise I would get scolded कि ये सारा दिन तुम उपन्यास पढ़ती रहती हो और पढ़ाई की किताबें मत पढ़ना, नंबर नहीं आएंगे तब पता चलेगा. So eventually, my parents who had cultivated the habit of reading were the ones to tell me to not read so much. And
but
yeah,
to disprove, the family and all what the rishtedars are saying, to let the audience know, Tanya here is a multi-freaking talented person, first of all, and she's a topper because she joined LSR Psychology Honors. हम कौन से history के बच्चे हैं? Please, we are not in the same league.
It was a tukka. I'm telling everyone it was a fluke because I'll tell you what. So my parents were after my life to study in the summer break right before class 12 began, and I would crib and I would be like कि चलो पढ़ के खत्म करो, and I just read through all of my syllabus and I was like अब बस मैंने पढ़ लिया, अब मैं पूरे साल पढ़ाई नहीं करूंगी, and only on weekends I would study, otherwise I would just binge watch movies or shows all the time. I would come home and I would put Khiladi on, and I watched all of Khiladi series on the TV.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah, I had a huge thing for Akshay Kumar at one point of time. I would not say any further, but
why is that?
I don't have a huge thing for him now.
Is it Manav Kaul now? Has he gracefully replaced that?
I am in love with Manav Kaul's mind. So beautiful. I think,
my God, this clipping will be taken out from the stream and then posted, and then Manav Kaul will be tagged.
And I will be very embarrassed. I feel like a schoolgirl with a crush.
Then Manav Kaul has already commented and liked Tanya's stories and posts, just to let all of you know. She's just being super humble, okay?
So No, but I think Manav Kaul has such a beautiful mind that it reflects in his work, and he just happens to be a very beautiful person also. So,
Can
like,
you recommend any book of his,
शॉर्ट
perhaps?
का तीसरा button, तुम्हारे बारे में. Where did Tanya go? Did you just switch off the camera?
Yeah, one sec.
Yeah, I was like, कहाँ गई? So, there is तुम्हारे बारे में, and then there is also this book that I got abhi recently, Prem Kabutar.
Acha.
And a friend also suggested a play. I haven't read it yet, so I won't suggest it right now. But I think Shirt Ka Teesra Button by far has to be one of the best books I've ever read. So,
Ria has written in the chat कि she will make this clip viral and then she will tag Manav Kaul. Can you
no.
please do it, Ria? Ria ने by the way पहले भी chat में लिखा था that she is very super happy to see super seniors in front of her. So I'm so
Oh,
glad. So I actually met Ria when I went to college. I came back from Sydney and then I think I visited college. Ideally, we were supposed to meet, but then another time.
yeah.
I've spoken about this last stream also. So we always say see you again or like see you later and I'll touch base soon. Nobody really says goodbye anymore. So
I
any thoughts on that?
I am a hater of the word bye.
Bye.
I just hate it. I think the only time I use it is when I'm really angry with someone. I'm like, bye. हो गया तेरे से मेरे को नहीं
Okay.
करनी बात तू जा यार. Only then it happens.
Okay.
Otherwise, even when I'm leaving for school or even when I'm let's say dropping a friend home, I always say आती हूँ मिलते हैं. It's my thing
Okay.
because I don't know. I also have a lot of like anxiety around things ending. So that is another issue of mine. I'm not a fan of endings. So
Any movie endings, वैसे by the way, or book endings that you really think that you held close to your heart, even though like they sucked and they mentally sucked all your energy because you were like, नहीं ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, but then it just happened. Like sad movie endings.
everyone is going to hate me when I say this.
Unpopular opinion.
No, not unpopular. I think it's too popular and too talked about. But oh my god, I am
Titanic.
no. So Jab We Met, I watch it every month, and I love the ending of the movie. And another fun fact of the movie is that the steps Shahid and Kareena do at the end of it are the same steps they did in another song, which is एक मैं हूँ एक तू है चाहते हैं. So in that they do the same steps, and I think people will hate me because Jab We Met has become this very mainstream movie, and these
Yeah.
days people are not a fan of the mainstream. Book endings, if I have to talk about, I think the ending that I hate the most and love the most at the same time has to be from Unaccustomed Earth by Jhumpa Lahiri. Um, so the second part of the book has Hema and Kaushik. And I'm sorry, I was getting a call on another phone.
Okay. We'll take 2 seconds
So
in case you have to take the call.
no. So yeah, I think that is the ending I hate the most. I don't want to ruin the book for others, but it's a very sad ending. And yeah, I think Shirt Ka Teesra Button also has a really sad ending, but it's also a book that doesn't really end because where
Okay.
you start the book from is also where you end the book from. And my phone, I don't know, I'll just cut the call.
No, don't worry. लेना है तो we can
No, no, this is
then
not.
check.
Hopefully,
Tanya Dubey, you have been called out as somebody's soul sister. Please check chat. Pokrash thinks you're
oh,
his soul sister. And Abhishek has written that that's why French greeting au revoir is good. In
yeah.
fact, Nix has also written that. So I done a stream with Helisha and Pathik, who's also from Chalchitra Talks. He makes some videos for Kitaabi cabins too. एंड उसने एक चीज बोली थी आई डोंट रिमेम्बर ये अगर हेली ने बोली थी या पथिक ने बट आई एम प्रीटी श्योर हिंदी में थी तो पथिक ने बोली होगी रिटन जाना एक खौफनाक क्रिया है एंड वी आल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट अलविदा एंड गुड बाय on that note I want to progress a little further. I want to discuss whether saying alvida to college was something you'd ever planned, that too amidst the COVID pandemic. Did you expect a farewell? How is that like? And what do you miss most about college?
I think I miss the dogs most about college. So I was the project head for this
Yeah.
NGO by NSS called Campus Care. Please give them a follow. And if you can fund donations for Campus Care, please do that. Shout out to Campus Care LSR. Go on Instagram, follow the account. And
Then we know what to extract from this
yeah.
live stream now.
So I think, yeah, the dogs of the campus and the cold chocolate of Nescafe is something that I miss the most. And I think the liberating environment of LSR. I entered college as a fool because I was like, यार अब बहुत पढ़ लिया, अब जो ये 3 साल है मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है और मेरे को बस chill करना है अब. But of course, if you're a part of the psych department with a GE like political science, you can't chill. And of course, the chilling didn't happen as such. But yeah, uh, I think we were lucky in the fact that college opened for at least a month uh, before we graduated. So
Yeah.
we got that time on campus. And I think I will forever be grateful for that experience. And I remember sitting outside Psych Lab with my friends and singing songs and chilling with them, eating Maggie, and just having those talks post practical class. Uh, I think the kind of connections we forged with our professors, they're very close to my heart. And I think I am someone who keeps going to college every now and then. And मैं बहुत बेशरम जैसे बार बार वहां पहुंच जाती हूँ. And मैं फिर professors को बोलती हूँ कि मैं फिर से मुंह उठा के यहीं पे आ गई. But I don't feel like letting go.
ये first home ही बन जाता है, I think, in a
Yeah,
way. First home,
first
parents
home.
feel like
And I
college.
remember regarding the farewell also, there was such a huge fuss कि नहीं करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे. And I was like, यार ये क्या बकवास है? हमारा grad dinner भी नहीं हो रहा है. And I get
Same.
angry really easily. So I'm a
हाँ.
very angry person. I want to let the audience know that
Are you a Taurus by any chance?
no, I'm a Leo.
Then कैसे? ऐसे कैसे? Leos are supposed to be शांत, ना? Or maybe I'm reading sun signs.
No. So people tell me that I have a very Zen-like personality, and I think
Yeah,
if someone
I
feels that
love.
way, it's a farce that I have created. I am not at all Zen-like. I can. I think the only time I am Zen-like is when I'm on my own. I'm very comfortable with being alone. Uh,
Right?
but I think when I'm in the company of people who piss me off, then it shows on my face. And I don't have a lot of tolerance for people who piss me off. So I get angry really easily, and I remember that I would get very angry at the college authorities.
Who didn't? I feel like थोड़ा
हाँ,
बहुत तो deserve पे करते थे.
and मेरे
इतना सा
को
deserve
स्टूडेंट
करते थे.
यूनियन पे भी बहुत गुस्सा आता था कि यार ये क्या कर रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. एंड हम बैठे हुए ऐसे गधों जैसे, वी एटलीस्ट डिजर्व अ फेयरवेल. 1 साल ऐसे ही चला गया. सो आई रिमेम्बर दैट. बट आई थिंक फॉर मी कॉलेज कैन नेवर बी समथिंग दैट आई लीव बिहाइंड. It is a big part of who I am today. And I'm grateful to LSR and the friendships that I have made over there.
And it goes beyond this stream. So for everybody who's watching as well, Tanya, apart from like her love for dogs, for nature, for all things art and beautiful, Tanya is a beautiful singer. And at the same time, I think she's genuine यार. मेरे को पहचान थोड़ी तो है म्यूजिक की, उतना क्रेडिट दे दे.
When did you hear me sing?
अभी 2 seconds पहले I heard you
Oh,
sing.
wow.
I've heard you sing multiple times, please. But I've really admired your stories. I feel like आजकल सबका थोड़ा सा एक वो जो communication gaps आ जाता है. I think social media just helps थोड़ा सा filter it out, है ना?
I remember
It's
when you were
in a
in
good way.
Sydney, I would look at your stories, and I had another friend who is in Melbourne, I think.
Yeah.
तो मैं ऐसे ही देखती थी कि ये सारे लोग आसपास ही हैं. एंड मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता था to see that you guys are having the time of your lives, and I just feel genuinely happy for people when they're happy. I think that's one thing that happens with me. Also about art, the thing with me is that I am uh, am I allowed to say strong words? So
We
I
have got
think,
an adult audience, hopefully.
yeah.
29 people watching, all good.
I think
जल्दी बोल दो.
I'm like a fuck boy. Because I pick up things and I leave them. So I
Ouch! ऐसा major attack to all Delhi South Delhi boys.
oh yeah. So the thing is that I am currently doing pottery. which
Oh
is
wow.
one way
Oh
to learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Acha, I saw your story. I did. I
I've
did.
been doing pottery right
How's
now.
that?
I used to like I do paint. अभी मैंने एक साल से canvas पे paint नहीं करा है, but I do paint. Then I learned how to play the uke, and I realized I'm very clumsy with my fingers. So it's now just there on the wall. Then I think I pick up things and then I leave them. But I think books happen to be something which have always stayed with me, even if there has been, let's say, a gap of like a month or two. I find myself coming back to them. So I think books are really close to me, and books are the true love of my life because I uh, never abandon them, or they never abandon me. I think it's the other
There
way
should be
around.
like one tagline that goes out saying Tanya says books are LOML for every Tanya ever.
Yeah.
Hopefully. There's a quick chat. I'll read it. You're a zodiac enthusiast apparently. ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि मुझे चलचित्र इकोसिस्टम में मिलता नहीं है कोई. One stream on zodiacs please. तो
You do it.
अगली
I think
stream
this is for you.
पक्का पक्का. इस बारी तो ताना में कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. पता है हम क्या करते थे स्कूल्स में. मैं आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स अ लकी थिंग और एन अनलकी थिंग. कुछ भी अनलकी नहीं
Yeah.
होता. इट्स जस्ट एंड थिंग्स वर्क आउट. यू टर्न इट इन योर फेवर. बट मेरे कॉलेजेस में स्कूल्स में आई ऑलवेज हैड तानियास. ऑलवेज हैड तानियास इन सेम बैचेस, सेम स्ट्रीम्स, सेम
I hope,
क्लास, रोल नंबर.
yeah,
सब आगे पीछे.
I hope this person, I am sure they are not watching it, so I can say it.
हाँ.
But I remember in school, I had like a fight with a girl with the same name. And I used to like really
Oh my
scream
god.
it. Thankfully, she has a different spelling. Now we are, I think, on talkable terms. But
Graduate.
for me, there's a very funny story behind my name also, actually. But I don't know if we have the time for it or not.
नहीं नहीं. Go for it.
So the thing is that my parents were really creative around names. तो मेरा नाम डिसाइड करने में उन्हें बहुत टाइम लग रहा था.
हाँ.
कभी they would keep it काव्यांशी or
Kavanshi.
Shagun or something along the lines of that. But then my dad picked up Eva for me, which is a very unique name. Now, Eva, the way sounds
Love it.
beautiful, right?
Western.
So they had finally picked up Eva, and on my first birthday, my sister was home alone. And she got a call from one of my relatives, and he was the person responsible for the cake. Now, first birthdays are usually a big thing in my family. All the relatives come. तो उन्होंने कॉल करके पूछा दैट केक पे क्या नाम लिखवाना है, एंड माय सिस्टर सेड तान्या लिख दो बिकॉज हर बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स नेम इज तान्या. एंड आई वाज लाइक कि आपकी वजह से मेरा अच्छा खासा जो एक नाम ढूंढा गया था ना, वो अब एक ऐसा नाम हो गया कि आप रोड पे जाके चिल्लाओगे तान्या और 10 लोग आके खड़े हो जाएंगे.
सही
तो
बात है. I don't disagree. In fact, आप believe नहीं करोगे ताने, the first 2-3 streams in fact that I'd done, उस पे ना लोग ने ऐसे वैसे comment किया था that oh aren't you that famous millionaire, like aren't you like earning, can I cuss on this stream? Now this time I'm asking for
या
permission.
या
They're like, oh my god, aren't you that person who's like making fucking millions? And I was like, brother, not me. Aren't you Little Miss Asia? मैंने बोला ये कौन है ये? कौन है ये? Doppelganger मेरी namesake, मैं तो जानती नहीं हूँ.
लाइक
But yeah.
द funniest thing is have you seen Flames? So there's this actress called Tanya Maniktala, and this
अरे somebody wrote this in the chat for you that you look like her. मैंने
oh
पहले पढ़ा
god,
था.
so many people tell me and I don't see it. First of all, I don't see it. She's beautiful.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Start
I
seeing
think the
it.
beholder needs specs.
ऐसे
Anyhow,
ऐसे करके.
I think the beholder needs specs. But the thing is that I remember this one time when my message requests on my private account were open. Someone texted me कि Tanya ma'am, please accept my request. I'm a big fan from Flames. और फिर मैंने उसे बोला भाई वो मैं नहीं हूँ. Then I sent the username and I said इसको follow करना है. And then I blocked the guy. But I think that's a very funny thing that has stayed with me.
दो तीन और भी आए हैं कि is I think perhaps because of the nose and the eyes and the bone structure. On the contrary, I would disagree with this chat and say it's the eyebrows. Like it's definitely the brows. Is
I
hers
don't see
yours?
it. I don't see it. I have been told I
Come
look like
on,
Geeta
yeah.
from
One
Swadesh.
mirror I will show you. हाँ, I'll bring one mirror and show you. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है?
So I've been told I look like Geeta from Swadesh, and I think I might agree with that a
Oh
bit.
my God,
But
yes.
Tanya Maniktala is very different from me.
She's so beautiful as an actress. I liked her in A Suitable Boy.
Oh, I
Geeta.
love the comment. Someone wrote Besharam Rang plays when Tanya Dubey enters campus.
You know, Sari, by the way, Tanya, Sari era, you guys must watch. Did you guys know that the picture on the thumbnail is actually both of us in saris?
Oh, yeah.
But our faces have been cropped here. Oh my God, I can see it, girl. I can see it. Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I've been told I look like her, and I think I might agree to that point. And the fact that we are both teachers, she is also teaching students in the movie.
Yeah.
So I think that is one character I don't mind associating myself with.
Nice. I had gotten a once only gotten a Scarlett Johansson, and then I was like, no, no, no. Like even before they started, I was like, no, no, no. I think
I
I
think you
know where you're
should
going.
bleach your hair. It's the face structure.
Oh yeah, I'm on it. Like next time a
Do it.
RoboCop movie is made, so baal is chote chote electrified. But reading, you said, has been so important for you. You've grown up with it. It's infused a sense of confidence. I'm assuming that even in college, you were an avid reader. Did you ever join any societies on campus? Do you want to talk about societies we had on campus? Maybe tell
So
us a little more about
I'll
Elisa
tell you
culture.
what, no. In school, I was a part of the dramatics club. I was a part of the book club, which is very exclusive. So I was a part of it for 3 years officially and 2 years unofficially.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to issue two books at a time and read them, and that's what I would do as a book club member. And I used to go for inter-school debates as well.
Huh.
And I was someone who was also on the field as a racer and everything.
Yeah.
So I was very active in school. Which is why when I entered college, I was like, nahi, ab meko bas chill karna hai. So I didn't even audition for any societies. But then I think in second year, publicity team is something I wanted to be a part of. And photography is also something that I picked up back in school. I have a photography page, which is something that I again abandoned like a fuck boy.
You're
But
picking up and then
yeah.
tell me about it. I feel like Tanya is going to do really well in a situationship era. And because she's got all the cards in her hand. She's got the trump card. She can actually let the guy
Oh,
hanging,
I
leave
love being single. I am single and I love being single
for the win.
because I feel my mental health, touch wood, flourishes without a man in my life.
एक
Uh,
intrusive question पूछे stream पे. Are you seeing someone?
no, not right now.
ऐसे I thought कुछ ऐसे philosophical आएगा. क्या तान्या ऐसे कैसे? I thought you'd say I'm seeing like the love of my life. That's books or like
Uh,
God या कुछ.
I have my dog whom I love very much.
I love that. What's
Yeah.
his name?
Her name's Phoebe.
Her name.
Huh.
I think
But
I've
it's
I've seen her on your story.
Febee. So I think she and I are just alike. And she's the love of my life. Uh, quite honestly. I think I am someone who falls in love very easily with the unknown
Oh
stuff.
gosh, I got just the perfect question on that note.
Yeah.
I was hoping to ask you. It's like a common misconception का opposite conception होता है क्या? It's a common
Belief,
misconception.
a common belief.
Common belief rather, yeah, that या misnomer भी कह सकते हैं that a lot of psychology grads or psych students are very romantic because they understand nuances of relationships because they can read between lines because like I feel like you guys don't have to guess and assume तुम लोग को सब एकदम परमात्मा देवता की तरह पता रहता है so just
I'll
wanted
be
to
very
quickly ask
honest.
you
I
you
think
like
a professor of mine is more equipped to answer that question. She did
okay
her PhD on love.
wow
Yeah. So she did a PhD on love, and it was so interesting when she was teaching us a paper that she would keep talking about her PhD. And I remember this one time. So I have strict parents, right? So I remember this one time I was sitting in the dining room with my laptop on, and my professor randomly says, "प्यार में हद से गुजर जाना." And my dad and my mom are sitting there, and I'm like, वो सोच रहे होंगे कि ये क्या पढ़ रही है इनकी बेटी. because they're very strict, right? And
Yeah.
she would keep giving us examples of how love and relationships work. A lot of my batchmates did their research on love and relationships. Personally, I am someone who likes to read about love, who likes to watch movies about
So
love.
one word question was, are you a romantic? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, I think so. But I'm a romantic who is comfortable loving from a distance. That's it.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
COVID, जैसे कहते हैं ना TNC applied, I feel like COVID की policy applied है यहाँ पे थोड़ी
हाँ,
सी. From a distance. रिया ने एक चीज मेंशन की है कि वो एक ऐश्वर्या मोहनराज की बहुत फेमस लाइन है ना स्टैंड अप वाली, when she's like, प्यार तो मुझे ऐसे हो जाता
That's
है.
me. That's me. I fall in love very easily, but then I have to tell myself कि नहीं, very risky zone to be in. And I think at this point in life, when you get very comfortable being alone, to let another person
Yeah.
in is also something that I don't know, is a huge risk to take. So
Hmm.
it's good for me to love someone from a distance. I enjoy that. तब तक आपका ना वो, we say that we form an image of a person in our mind,
Hmm.
and once we get to know them better,
Hmm.
kind of gets shattered, and then the perception of that person changes entirely, and I think love vanishes. I have very mixed views on love, but yeah, I think
Rightly so. Psych I can even understand why you delve into it so much. Because
so, but
see, when text is
relationship,
so different. Nani, go on. Sorry.
नहीं, relationship wise, I think any psych student would agree that we are just as messed up as other people, because आपकी जो सारी the problem with me is that every time I'm, let's say, looking at a person, or I hope my parents don't I don't think they'll ever, I don't think they have an idea about this dream also. I
अच्छा,
hope my
आगे
relatives
चलो.
don't stumble upon this. But every time I'm, let's say, talking to a guy, I have this thing wherein I start psychoanalyzing the person to an extent.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
then this
First
used to
meeting में
happen a
करते
lot.
हो या over a period of time?
I think shuru mein. So it has happened a lot of times, but now I try to contain that side of mine. I also remember this time I did a really vicious thing. I don't know if I should speak about it. I probably won't.
Let's do it. Let's spill the beans.
So yeah, so the thing is that this one time I was talking to a person and I said that, will you please fill this test for me? It's a personality assessment. And he said, yeah, I'll do it. He did it. And then I had analyzed it and everything, and I read ROLs on it and everything. And then eventually we came to a spot wherein he really hurt me. So I was like, bhai, ab to I will give you a personality assessment ऐसे अच्छे से लिख कर. And I said, you know what? I read ROLs about people who are high risk takers being liars and cheaters. And I thought कि ऐसे generalize नहीं करना चाहिए. But guess what? You proved them right. And I was like, okay, you're very vicious, Tanya. You need to grow as a person. And then, of course, I have been working on that. But yeah,
Can I
someone
talk
asked.
about my Valentine Eve story? Like, I'll take 2 quick seconds because I have the Josh now because we talk about viciousness, and I'm just like, I want to tell the world how petty I am. Is it just a Tanya thing? So on Valentine's Eve, I went out with someone, and we'd gone to Aero City because it was really close by and everything. And we thought we'll drive because I thought I'll drive rather. And I drove the guy. So I thought ki, dekho, that sense of like, I don't know, like a sense of control aa jata hai when you put the wheel in your hand. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we went and everything, and we're sitting in the cafe. We're at Delhi Heights, and I just didn't have a good time, Tanya. Like, I've reached a point in my life where I'm just like, nah, man, nahi ho raha hai. Like, I can't put up. You won't believe it. I don't want to take credit for this. Like, it's not a very nice or great thing to do. It's so shallow. I said, I'm going to the bathroom. Bathroom first floor पे था Delhi Heights का, in Aero City we go there. And वहां से एक basement का रास्ता पीछे से जाता है through the
Oh,
kitchen. I left and I had the car and I actually left. And I feel no remorse, no regret because it was so bad. It was
I think,
genuinely so bad. Because when people can't keep up with conversations, people can't
yeah,
put the effort, बहुत disappointing लगता है because you yourself, see, I put a lot of efforts.
of
So
course.
that's it.
I
Leave it
think
at
I
that.
relate. This one time I was in Kailash Colony at Big Chill,
Hmm.
and I was meeting with a person. It wasn't exactly a date. Of course, I just want to put this disclaimer out to my relatives. I don't go on dates and I hate men.
Yes, yes. So do
But
I, so do I.
I was meeting this one person, and I remember that I did not like how our conversation was going. So what I do is I put myself out as a very repulsive person कि वो उस इंसान का इंटरेस्ट मुझसे चला जाए. तो हम बैठे हुए थे और मैं बैठे बैठे रैंडमली बोलती हूँ मेरे घुटनों में ना दर्द हो रहा है. And then
What
that guy
a
had
what a
nothing to say.
budo wala. Nice.
हाँ.
I like.
And that guy had nothing to say, and I was like, "Acha." Essay. I started talking about really boring things, and eventually, we never had a follow-up date after that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good. Tangofied him. Somebody's written this full support to you, by the way. So kudos on that. Perks of being friends with people who are psychology students. पता है रिया ने जो ये बात मेंशन की मेरे को उस पॉइंट पे था पूछने
and
वाला कि I've seen so many psych grads even जैसे मैं स्कूल में थी तो मैंने तो psychology ली थी 11th 12th में and we used to go around asking people a lot that hey can you fill out this form for me,
oh,
can you
yeah.
fill out questionnaires for me, at the same time like I had a very ऐसे wily thought in my head and maybe chime in like with your inputs. But if we have a similar form being circulated widely, like in schools, in fellowships like yours, कि hey, what really motivates you about reading? And कोई ऐसी कुछ दो चार अपनी recent books share करो. Do you think you can relate to something like that? Would you want to personally take an initiative where you're spreading the joy of reading? Because when you interact with small kids now, I think you realize yourself that it's very, very important for them to learn as much as us, and they teach us more than we teach them. So, what is your take on that and about the reading initiative
Oh,
in
of
general?
course. I think, in fact, Teach for India is working towards literacy and numeracy to the grade level, right? And we strongly believe in making sure that our kids are able to attain a good quality, excellent education. And we have many initiatives. We have slam poetry. We have Pratham, which is basically kind of a project that sets up libraries in your classroom. So we have all these initiatives, and I keep sending my students PDFs on WhatsApp for them to read. I also remember something that really broke my heart is the fact that this one day I was sitting, and I'm a big time hoarder, okay? So I
Of
still
books or
have,
just generally?
so I have my class 5 assignments also. And I saw that the way I wrote is in grade 5 is not how my students write, even in grade 6. Sorry, I'll just take a pause. And I think that really broke my heart that I was in school years ago in grade 5, right? And the kind of level my students are on, it was heartbreaking. And that's when we started cultivating the practice of reading. We started doing RCs, which is reading comprehension. And yeah, I think reading is something that really helps you paint a picture in your mind, and you can go to places while sitting in your room. So, being a part of such an initiative is something that I would love to do. It's also a coping mechanism for many people. Like I told you, I had been bullied a lot back in childhood. So, I think spending time with books and forming friendships over books. I went to the book fair recently with my friend, and she and we bonded over books and braids and boys. So the three B's of our friendship. And yeah, I remember we had an exclusive book club of the two of us, and we would share recommendations and read the same books at the same time. So I think books are so much more than just stories, and yeah, I think I would love to be a part of such an initiative. And
I feel like Madam Thesaurus itself is such an initiative, and it's got its roots back in your childhood. Now that we get to delve into your psychology,
the funniest
थोड़ा बहुत
the funniest fact is that I am best friends with my bully.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
You bully him or her back?
No, I don't bully her back. She's a sweetheart now. We were kids, so I think.
In fact, when you talked about imagination and just generally books opening doors for you, do you generally like non-fiction, key fiction books?
Fiction, and again, many people might hate me for it, um, but I am not a fan of self-help books. I think मैं अपनी help खुद ही कर सकती हूँ, and या
आज
therapist के
मैंने,
पास
in fact,
जाके.
my colleague mentioned the same thing today.
हाँ,
But ऐसा क्यों?
because यार, I honestly feel that some things can't have a substitute. They can
Hmm.
be something that can supplement, but they can't substitute. And for me, going to a therapist and talking about something is that I would rather do to work on myself than to read a self help book. I also find them really boring. I think the word that I use for such books is need us. कि उनमें कोई joy भी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. And I every time someone recommends me a self help book, I'm like, nahi. The only self help book that I've ever read is The Secret, and I think वो भी मैंने I did not read it from the first flap to the last flap. I read
Yeah.
it बीच बीच pages में से, and I read it back in class 11th 12th. That's when
Hmm.
it helped me a little bit. बट अभी मुझे कोई बोलेगा कि आप सेल्फ हेल्प बुक पढ़ो या कुछ, तो मैं बोलूंगी नहीं. नहीं, मुझे नहीं चाहिए.
No,
आई डोंट
thanks.
वांट टू
पर ये
वर्क
अपनी
ऑन माई सेल्फ.
self-care.
हम्म.
मेरे को सेल्फ हेल्प बुक्स का ऐसा शौक नहीं है, बट आई डेफिनेटली आई वुड डिसएग्री ऑन जस्ट वन एस्पेक्ट वेयर आई वुड वांट टू टॉक अबाउट हाउ सेल्फ हेल्प हैज थोड़ा बहुत शेप्ड मी रिसेंटली. Like, you know me from college, you know me back when I was in my first year. I've definitely thoda sa changed as a person. All of us do. But professionally, some things I take from books, like I think How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think big like a big support book that I've
I
had.
remember.
Rich
I
Dad
think,
Poor Dad. I just had a conversation today with
yeah.
someone who said that Nana, I don't like the book. I feel like still perhaps some takeaways. 0 to 1 is another one that I like. एक business startups के ऊपर book है. I like underlining these books and all the How Not to Give Fucks wali Mark Ronson series. I like them.
I think for non-fiction, your person to get recommendations from is Tanya Mittal, not me. I can recommend fiction. मेरे साथ
There
problem
is
ये भी है
एक
कि
Priya का comment. Did you see
oh,
this, by the way? उसने लिखा था कि in case you wanted to just make a reading habit. So while you're on with your next sentence,
yeah,
do also try and incorporate like reading habits. How have you inculcated in your life?
definitely. So where was I? I was saying, हाँ, मेरे साथ एक ये भी problem है that I can't read books which are very popular.
हाँ, got it.
And it's the same with movies. Every time, so I can see a lot of people have been talking about Bear Town and all these books, and मुझसे पूछते हैं आपने पढ़ी क्या? And I'm like नहीं. मेरा since school, I think my inclination towards selecting a book has been purely out of my own free will. And my friend and I would spend a lot of time in the library. We would spend half an hour of our 40-minute period, library period, in just picking the right book for ourselves. So we would climb up ladders and we would go from one book to another and then compare which one to read. So for me, a book is very personal, and I can never turn it into some sort of trend wherein I'm reading bestsellers because they are the talk of the town right now. So
Nothing
that
mainstream person.
that's the thing with me. I think मुझे है थोड़े issues. So uh,
नहीं नहीं, आप इश्यूज दे उन सारे मर्दों को जिन्होंने आज से लेके till the end of time. Like मैं काफी कहती हूँ because I feel like in general LSR में रह के that sense of an independent spirit comes in all of
definitely.
us, and it's not a male hating and all this
Yeah.
bullshit that's that F word that you should be scared of. Please, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. But definitely, Tanya can comment on this. It's a very unique phenomenon in our
Magical
college and
Palace.
campus. मैं dogs की बात करने वाली थी, but we'll
Oh,
come
sunshine.
magic palace are. And the fact that they bark when you
Batman.
see a random man on campus, and it's just weird. It's just I can't believe it. You'll find 10 women crossing
Oh, yeah.
the campus, but एक पे नहीं भौंकेंगे, but आदमी कोई होगा. It's like this canine feminism, like hashtag canine feminism.
Oh, yeah. It's Sunshine. She is the, I think,
Heart
flag
of the cause.
bearer of feminism of LSR.
All LSR people who have tuned in also can
Yeah.
corroborate this.
So,
Chalo, I'm
we were talking
so glad.
about reading habits, no?
Huh.
So I think a reading habit that I would recommend is just sitting, like if you're trying to come out of a reading slump, what you can do is that you pick a thin book and a book that is of your interest. So,
Yeah.
for example, I remember once I had picked up Animal Farm to come out of a reading slump. Ek baar I picked up A Room of One's Own. Then another time I had picked up We Should All Be Feminists, which is actually a TED talk. And these are very small, short books. And I think, first of all, it's really important to read something that is of your interest to start the habit of reading. Then you can maybe progress to books which are more heavy in terms of their subject matter. And I
Right.
think I won't be too idealistic and say ki nahi roz kitab padho. That used to happen back in school, but once you're working and once there are 10 things that you're doing, it's really difficult to do that. But even if you're reading 10 pages a day, I think you will be able to form that habit. In psychology, we say that it takes 21 days to form a habit. So try doing that, and maybe you will pick up reading as a habit. For me, having social pressure, having people to be accountable to helps in reading. So that's why the
Yeah.
Bookstagram. If you're someone like me, then maybe you can also start a Bookstagram. And I think having a circle of people around you who read is really important. Meri bachpan se I've had this belief that the kind of people you hang out with is how you mold yourself as well, and that's how you shape up your personality. And every time I've been around someone who reads, I have found myself reading more often, because you need common topics to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Especially
And
if
I'm glad then this way we can connect. And so can people around us, I mean, anyone who's watching this stream, if find your friend, find your book buddy, call her, call him, and talk about any book that you're reading about. Reading right now, rather. I want to take 1 second and just talk about this one book that I'm reading right now. In fact, we reading. So yeah, I don't know if you've read this book,
The God
Tanya.
of Small Things. I haven't read it.
Things by Arundhati Roy. I'm just getting into it once again. I say fun rereading the book, but I liked it the first time as well, and it definitely won a Booker Prize. So
Yeah, of
she's
course.
definitely got
I'm
the art of writing, beautiful as
great.
an author. And if you get the time, please, Dekhna. Uh, did you check the chat? किसी ने लिखा था that you have to find like-minded people.
Yeah.
So like we said, book buddies ढूंढो, gym buddies भी ढूंढो, get into reading, get into fitness. That is all that's going to keep you. Tanya had mentioned this wonderful thing pehle, and I want to flag that. I remember kahin in the middle of the stream, you had said that you're getting very comfortable with your own self. And I'm on that note going to just talk about one thing. How do you embrace that sense of being on your own? और हम कभी भी loneliness नहीं कहते हैं. I think it's a very wrong word. I think
Yeah.
never should one use the word loneliness. And ये जो confidence आप में आया है, आप इसको लेके आगे कहाँ जाना चाहते हो? And where do you see Tanya, like I know it's a very interview question, but Tanya going this, this new Tanya who's just happy with her own self. And who looks back at this video 5-10 years from now and says that, hey, this is what I was saying a few years ago, and this is what I am now.
I think ever since I was a child, I was very comfortable with being alone. And again, I think part of it comes from the bullying. But yeah, I enjoyed my company. But I think the change that came in my personality was when I turned into an extrovert and started seeking the company of other people. But I think once I'm uh, in my safe haven or in my room, that's when I feel the most as myself. And I think what helped me embrace that is the fact that when I'm in my room, I'm not trying to impress anyone. Otherwise, my worth of myself kind of depends on how useful I am to other people once I'm outside of my room. So even if it means just क्या हिंदी में बोलूंगी अपने रूम की चौखट पार करना भी is me stepping into the world of others, because then I'm surrounded by my family, right? And for me, my worth will then depend on how useful I am to them. And if I'm not of use to them, then of course I will feel affected by it. क्योंकि अगर आप किसी और के लिए कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं तो फिर आप क्या कर रहे हैं? So
Hi.
for me, my safe haven is my room, and that's where I'm truly able to embrace myself. The last 2 years, I've been grappling with grief ever since I was 7 years old, and I think I kept on repressing it as a person, and eventually it came to a point wherein it was too much for me to take. So I sought a therapist, and shout out to my therapist. Full on transference has happened. I love you. That's
Positive
unethical of
transference
me
for
to say that. Um,
sure.
but truly, I think that one point in the last 2 years wherein I was slightly uncomfortable on being alone, talking to her helped me accept those parts of myself, and I became comfortable with being in silence. Otherwise, I always needed something to stimulate me, and I would be doing multiple things at a time. Now I'm doing one thing at a time, and I'm happy with it. And I
Yeah.
think in future also, my worth should depend more on how I perceive myself than how others perceive me. I mean, of course, that's how it is now also, but I think I need to, I don't know, maybe be more and more self-dependent is what I'm going for. So I think 10 years down the line, it shouldn't matter to me if someone uh, can't spare time for me. It doesn't matter to me now also, but I'm sure that uh, through the years I will come along uh, and find myself being in love with someone, and then my worth might depend on that person's ability to give time to me. That does happen with people, so I hope that doesn't happen to me and that I'm comfortable being alone. So, or I would just I don't know, I'm not sure. This is a very existential question यार, ऐसे सवाल मेरे पास मत लाओ. Insert Jackie
एकदम
Chan.
मेरी चुप्पी से पता चल रहा है how much I absolutely enjoyed what you said.
I
बोलते
I
रहो
have
बस
no idea.
ऐसे.
I think I've been speaking out of my ass. मेरे को कुछ idea नहीं है मैं
No,
बोल क्या रही हूँ. But just being comfortable with myself, um,
as you
and
should be.
not letting go of this habit of being comfortable with myself. I don't want to lose this part of me. Is how I want to be in the next few years. To put it in simple terms,
Really lovely. On that note, I want
you're
to let
quite young.
everyone
You
know.
should not think so much and have fun.
And right, I
You're
mean, I
absolutely
mean,
right.
going in the right way. I was going to take that 1 second wala appreciation note, but you've done that for me.
Hmm.
But yeah, thank you so much, Tanya. बहुत cool. Wrap up करेंगे. We'll just quickly talk about any last questions that maybe we want to answer and just have a brief glance through the chat too. And यही वाला question that the comment thing that you mentioned ना कि काफी young हो इतना मत सोचो.
हाँ.
But I think overthinking also comes from good reading habits.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a good reader and an overthinker in our midst today.
Deep
So
thinkers are old souls, is what my bhabhi tells me. I'm very close to
हाँ.
her. She's in her
Hence
40s.
the gray hair, hence the white hair. Oh my god, everything is connected in Tana's life. My god, the stream must be watched at like 0.5x कि धीरे धीरे एक एक चीज को तुम absorb करते चलो. But super cool, yeah, Tanya. Thank you so much for joining me.
No
I
problem.
absolutely enjoyed this. And I think the viewers really liked it. मुझे आज बहुत cool लगा. Tanya has come in the chat and said that never realized she could relate so much to you.
Which one of
So,
us?
oh, I'm pretty sure it's you because you've done so much of lovely talking tonight, and the talking points made so much sense to me.
I think
And
it's the
I would,
person who chose the talking points.
अरे नहीं प्लीज
Hmm.
नो क्रेडिट ऐसा कभी नहीं. बट तान्या की बात सही है. आई फील लाइक एवरी तान्या हैज गॉट अ मास्टर Uguay inside her, and Tanya has completely embraced her Uguay today, her spiritual guru. Thank you so much, and would love to do a part 2, part 3 someday.
Definitely.
And I wish you nothing but just the very best with your Bookstagram. Everybody who is watching, bhai log, थोड़ा सा please follow. It is such a subscriber YouTuber thing to say. मुझे 2-3 स्ट्रीम से बोल रहे हैं लोग कि ना थोड़ा सा हाव भाव अपने थोड़े से फन करो, लाइक स्पीक इन हिंदी, स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. मैंने अब सोचा है कि मैं लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब ज्यादा ऑफन बोलूंगी. People who keep tuning in, they keep liking. But do follow Tanya's page, and she's
Yeah.
doing such a noble thing. She's dealing with so many wonderful kids. If you do wish to ever contribute, TFI जरूर check करना. Tanya, you can maybe take 2 minutes
It's
and then we can.
So if you want to see the kind of work I'm doing in my classroom, you can follow Masti Ki Pathshala _TFI on Instagram. And again, I am supposed to be posting there more often, but I don't do that. I promise I will be more accountable if more people follow the account. I've been doing a lot of work in my classroom. I just don't post about it. And I can hear my voice. So
नहीं, cool.
I think कुछ
It's a,
issue है,
नहीं.
कुछ glitch है.
अभी भी है.
अभी भी है.
Wait, let me turn off my video for 1 second. See. Better? मेरी आवाज तो आ रही है ना?
हाँ, I think अब नहीं आ रहा है echo. Yes, I think you should switch on your video.
I switch it back on. चलो
Yes.
अब तो goodbye note ही है.
हाँ,
But
so you can follow Masti Ki Pathshala _TFI to see the kind of work I'm doing in my classroom. And if you want to follow Campus Care, it's campuscare.lsr on Instagram, and you can support the project. Other than that, I just want to say that it was lovely having the 15 people who were there till the end, listening to me blabber. I was going to use a strong word again out of my mouth, but thank you so much for joining. And you may or may not follow my Bookstagram. That's your choice. But thank you so much for taking out time from your evening and listening to me. And thank you, Tanya, for giving me this opportunity. It was a great pleasure to talk to you, and I think I really needed it because you know the reasons I needed it. So
yes.
you made my day better. So thank you so much, Flying Kisses.
Oh, thank you so much, Tanya, for being such a warm presence. We touched a peak of 38 viewers today. I'm so happy, and I hope this keeps continuing. बाद में भी जो देखेगा, do like the stream, do comment, and do tell us what you liked about the stream and what you liked about Tanya's recommendations in general
Oh
about
yeah, I
reading.
have psychology recommendations for readers.
Ari, please go for it.
Huh. So the divided self, man's search for meaning, and you should all go on Google Scholar and read up papers. I think that's how you will learn to enjoy psychology. क्योंकि books में psychology बहुत boring हो जाती है. And other than that, I had a very interesting thing to talk about, but अब stream खत्म करनी है हमें, तो वो next time.
नहीं we can take it यार, करते हैं. मेरा थोड़ा कचरे वाला रूम भी, लोग डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएंगे जो मैं ये कर रही हूँ पीछे पीछे.
अरे,
Go
it
for
was
it.
just about the TFI thing that how when I was a kid, I read this book called Miss Nelson is Missing.
Yeah.
And I remember I had an obsession with the book and I kept reading it again and again. It's basically about a teacher with a really, I don't know, rowdy classroom. And one day she goes missing, and then a very strict teacher comes in. And in the end, they find out that it's the same teacher. And she was just trying to teach a lesson to her class room. And I think now that I see myself as a teacher, I sort of feel connected to that book even more. So
Really
yeah.
cool. ठीक है, all right. Thank you so much once again, Tanya. Lovely talking to you. मिलते हैं कॉलेज में soon.
Yes.
Lots of love and keep watching, keep liking, guys. Good night.